Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Gift of Gaming podcast, and we're here for another Games Club. We're hitting up Act 2 of Baldur's Gate 3. And today I'm joined, thankfully, because I failed miserably at completing Act 2, I'm joined by Colm Nolan. Colm, say hello.
Hey guys, how we doing?
We're sharing a mic, myself and Colm, at the minute until I leave this podcast because I don't have 4 mics. It's not that well-run a podcast. Also with me today is Craig, the Critical Nolan. Craig, how you keeping?
How you doing, Darren?
Are you well, Craig?
I'm very good. Better than you, it seems.
Yeah. Better at completing games than I am, it would
Much
seem.
better.
And finally, last but certainly not least, is our good friend Daniel back on for another episode of the podcast. You were here for Zelda and you're here for Baldur's Gate Act 2. How you feeling, Daniel?
Hitting all the great nominations for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
Feeling well.
You're hitting the two main combatants, yeah. So what we were meant to do, well, I was meant to do, everyone else has succeeded very well here, was finish Act 2 of Baldur's Gate 3 so we could talk about, wow, like, you know, this game is so long and these acts, we're talking about the special quests and how everybody did things differently. I couldn't do that. And I couldn't do that because, you know, we'll get into it. You know, I suppose we might as well just we'll go straight in, and none of this, like, you know, tit for tat. What are you playing? How are you doing? There's too much here to go through. We kind of said that we're going to start off and for those who know Baldur's Gate 3, and this is probably important that you should play this before you listen to this. Play the game before you listen to this, because this is going to be pretty much spoilers galore. That's why I'm walking away when I finish my little bit. So we're going to start from the creche. For those who know, it's the Githyanki creche is kind of where we're going to kick this episode off from, and that's where I will give my tidbit for, and then leave and let you gentlemen get down to the nitty gritty. So Daniel, Craig, Colm, as you know, when I'm playing through Baldur's Gate 3, I'm not save scumming. My whole routine for this game was whatever happens, and I live with it. And I talked about how in Act 1, the party member Halsin, the druid, died for my playthrough and never got to use him. They killed the bear, and that was it. And I was devastated, but I was like, no, I have made this bed. I will sleep in it. And I tried to continue that, but I got to the creche. And this game's got some flaws, fellas. This Baldur's Gate 3 has a couple of flaws. So I got to the creche and I said, you know what? I don't want to fight anybody here. I don't want to cause trouble here. This is the Githyanki. They are a vicious, horrible race of people, and I don't want to fight them. And Lae'zel's here with me, and I gotta keep up appearances. Don't want to piss off Lae'zel or anything like that. So I said, okay, I'm gonna let Lae'zel do all the talking. That worked out fine. Lae'zel did all the talking for a lot of it. That worked out fine. I was like, cool. I don't have to fight anybody. You go through the creche, and you're like, hey, remember, there's a hatchery in here somewhere, and the lady wants to. You know, the lady outside the place wants to buy an egg or wants to buy a Githyanki egg. And I was like, no. I gave her an owlbear egg. I'm not stealing no Githyanki egg. I'm playing the line. I'm playing the fence here. I'm not going to fight Githyanki. I'm not going to make any enemies. So I didn't bother anybody in the hatchery. Didn't insult anybody. Didn't do anything. Hadn't saved in about 3 hours, by the by. The game only auto-saves for you every now and then. And I went in and I was like, oh my God, it's the infirmary of the creche. This is where I'm going to get these horrible worm things removed from my head. And there's a little chest in the middle of the room kind of shaking around. And I was like, oh, I'll go over to that. And it's glowing white. So you guys know when you're playing Baldur's Gate, anything that glows red is like, you're going to steal.
I've made that mistake several times.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is glowing white. Cool. I'll just open this. And it's like, oh, it's locked. And no one said anything to me. No one said, hey, leave that alone. That's our crate in the creche infirmary. And I was like, okay, cool. I won't. You know, no one said anything. I'll unlock it and I'll lockpick it. So Astarion comes in and he lockpicks it. And I open it. And every motherfucker in the creche wanted me dead. Out of nowhere. And I had been like, toe the line, didn't rob nothing. And I says, okay, I don't usually do this, but this is, like, it's a bug. Like, that should be glowing red, right?
No, I don't know, because it's a chest, it's still locked to keep you away from it. So it's like, it probably should have been red, but at the same time, like, it wasn't able to be opened by a normal means.
My fault.
I don't know. I would have made that mistake too, and I'm sure I did. But it's just, I was annoyed with the game so many times that I was able to just push past that. Like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you are lock picking a safe, so I mean, it doesn't have to be red for you to, like, anytime. Like, do you hold down like R3 or whatever button and you just see where their field of vision is?
No, I don't know what that is.
If you go into stealth mode, if you press down, you go into stealth mode. Like, you see where people see.
Oh yeah, of
so
course.
like,
yeah.
if you go into that mode there, like, you can, you know, easily lockpick safes and stuff like that and get away with it. But if you just go into like a room full of people and lockpick it, I mean, they will always react that way unless they're not looking at you.
But you
at
got
that
unlucky,
time.
Darren, because they should have gone, oh, you were caught stealing. Oh, pay a fine, or you should have got something
Right.
like
That's
that.
what I was like. So when it happened, I kind of thought, and it was that thing where it was like everyone just rolled initiative and everyone drew their blades, even the children. I think if I remember, I was like, this seems a little bit unfair.
Yeah, they did.
Skywalker
They
over
did.
here.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, that's cool. I will just, screw this. It's a mistake, my mistake. I'll just reset it, which I don't do. The scum save thing, I was like, I don't usually do this, but this seems unfair. So I went in, did the whole creche thing again. Towed the line, didn't rob an egg, went to the infirmary, didn't rob the chest this time, and then went and spoke to the lady at the machine. She's like, we can remove the worm. And I was like, oh, amazing. We're going to remove the worm. This is going to be great. And so I went through the machine, rolled amazing rolls, got through the whole, and I'll let you guys go into this in more depth because you guys got a little bit more out of this than I did, because I rolled through the whole thing, destroyed the machine through my successful rolls because like, oh, it can't mess with my brain, it can't save the worm. And then Lae'zel out of nowhere said, oh, she's a traitor. It's like they must have planted something in the machine. And I was like, oh, okay. She ran in the room and locked the door and locked me into the room. And I was like, okay. So it's just me and my party, and the woman who's meant to be the doctor just legged it and locked me in the room. And I was like, okay. So I went over. Darren, would you mind unlocking that door for me again, please? Like, I haven't fought anybody. I haven't insulted anyone. I'm just playing by the rules. Open the door. Everybody in the creche wants to fight me.
That is not a bug. It's a
That's
feature.
not a bug. That happens.
That's
yeah.
what is supposed to happen.
I reloaded the game there too, thinking I'd done something wrong because that blew my mind.
No, you did not do anything wrong. That is
that just
supposed to
happens
happen.
at that spot. Yeah.
More can happen if you do a safer route, but that is what happened to me on the first playthrough. Yes.
Same.
And okay, so here's
It's
so
very
here's the-
stupid.
I continued on, right? I continued on. I was like, okay, because in that situation, it was all the people in that hall wanted to fight me, and I was like, cool. I killed a couple of Githyanki, felt bad about it, didn't want it to happen like this. And then Lae'zel said something about, oh, we must speak to the High Inquisitor. There's a traitor or whatever here in our midst. So I ran off into another room where I thought the Inquisitor was, and it was like the High Lady who was in charge or whatever else. And I just went and spoke to her, and she was like, have you found the artifact? And my options were like, yes, here it is. I draw my blade and I'll fight you, or try and deceive her into thinking, hey, I need more time to find this thing. So I was like, oh, well, these options aren't great, but I will deceive her into giving me more time. And the deception check was a 20 or something like that, which I failed. And everybody in the creche wanted to fight me.
That's not a bug. It's a feature.
It's a fucking awful feature.
It could be a bug. It's just a bug that's there for everyone because there are a lot of quests out there that
There
aren't
is
fully finished.
like a method. Like there is a method to that madness. I don't know. Again, maybe you guys managed to, but I don't know any other route than to fight some people. Not all of them. You can spare a lot of them if you want, but that sparing part happens after you already fight many.
So I spent, I would say, 8 hours-ish in or around the creche, just restarting, trying to get around what obviously is now a bug, or maybe what's meant to be the story. But for me, trying to play, like, you're meant to role play your character, and it made no sense that this is what I had to do. I like there's and I know the Githyanki are a violent race, whatever else, but under no circumstances they've wanted me dead as much or as often as they did. So for me, I stopped playing there. I fell out of love with the game very quickly, and I'm not to say I'm done with it, because I've loved most of Act 1 of Baldur's Gate, so I will get back into it. I will finish Act 2, but I thought I'd come on to this episode and say the game's got some problems, bro.
I want to say two things before we part ways today, Darren.
Certainly.
One of them is that the whole machine thing, I didn't know that there was a safer route to take without them fighting you. I got out of the room. The reason why they locked you there is because you have a worm in your head, and obviously all the Githyanki are going to be against you because of that. That's just
part of their
Githyanki.
lore, yeah.
That's just what the Githyanki do. And with the queen that you've met, I can't remember her name. Anyone?
No, who cares?
Vlakith. Good on you.
Colm from across the room.
Colm with a save, with the assist there, yeah. Vlakith. So there is a reason why this happens. That fight happens after you try and lie to Vlakith, but you don't find out about it until the end of Act 2. And we can talk about that a little bit later.
That's an awful long time for me to wait to find out why all this happened. No, I love the game, but it broke me trying to get through that.
Broke your spirit.
Broke my spirit. Broke my role play. Broke my immersion. Didn't seem fair. So I, like a coward, just gave up and stopped playing Baldur's Gate 3 right before we were doing a podcast episode on it. So I'm going to hand it over. Colm, take a moment here to get comfortable from the mic. I'm going to hand everyone over to the more than capable Colm to bring you through the rest of Act 2. And by the rest, I mean all of Act 2 because I didn't play any of it.
You got 5 minutes into Act 2 and we've now spent 10 minutes talking about those 5 minutes you did.
You're most welcome. I'll leave you to it. Enjoy Act 2, everybody.
So, everybody, I just wanted to originally Darren wasn't planning to actually come on the podcast because he failed miserably at actually playing the game.
I pointed out last time, 3 weeks ago when we did this, I said that Darren will never get through Act 2 on time for this podcast. I want to go out with him. I did say that on air, and I'm delighted because I knew you'd fail.
Yeah. Well, look, I kind of persuaded him to a tiny extent. We didn't have a working fourth mic, so I insisted that he come on and tell his perspective about it because as someone who's playing the game the way he's playing it, he's not save scumming, which I've done, and that's the only way I could ever imagine playing this game because it's so harsh and unforgiving at times that if you don't auto-save regularly, like you'll get fucked over far too frequently. You have to take matters into your own hands. So I thought the other way, like if you look at Reddit and people who recommend this game, they're always saying things like, if you're playing it, you have to role play and don't like save scum or do anything like that. Yeah. That's all well and good.
It's all
from
nonsense,
a game's
though.
perspective, that can be very taxing and draining on your playthrough.
I want to say that I scum saved once.
I don't believe you.
For
I
what
scum
reason?
saved at least 100 times.
Once, and that was in the Shadowfell when you are supposed to protect the portal with Halsin.
I got bugged out of
Why
that
there?
quest.
Because I failed the first time.
Okay.
And then I scum loaded.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of midway toward the end of Act 2. So will we get into that one a little bit later?
That's it. Yeah. That's my scum save story. That's
awesome.
it.
Well, I feel like Darren kind of went through the crash quite well. Like, I mean, in fairness to him, that's how it goes down. Like, you almost have to fight most of the people in there.
From that experience, though, like, I was so certain I'd done something wrong that I reloaded my game outside the creche and I just didn't come back to the creche. So I never finished the creche because I assumed the quest was broken or
did you
I
finish
did
it
nothing
then?
wrong.
I finished it.
So did
I finished it a little bit too well because after the whole Vlaakith thing and you fight the main guy there, the main guy, girl, I can't remember who you fight. The main guy there, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
You have the option to just leave the creche be, but I went and I cleared out every last MF Githyanki there.
Oh,
I
some of them seem nice.
refuse. Yeah, and you know what? I feel like maybe I should have left a few alive, but I actually wanted to ask you, what did you do with the egg?
So I sold it to the lady. I gave it to her, and if you want, I can tell you what the repercussions are for later on in the game.
No. I killed that lady.
Cool.
I said to myself, no, you're not getting...
Second playthrough, I killed her too.
You're not getting a Githyanki egg, but the guy in the hatchery gave me the egg without me even asking for it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah?
Oh,
so
I
just have a
me too.
Githyanki egg now. I don't know what to do with it.
I
It's
finished
just
the
there.
game and I didn't actually find
So-
out what the answer was. I
So-
assume there is something you can do with it that has good purposes, but I never figured that out.
Yeah, I haven't come to full fruition with it, but I have the egg with Lae'zel now on the second playthrough. Like, I got her to go in and do it, and the old man was like, "What are you gonna do with this egg?" And I was like, "I'm gonna raise it and like keep it close
as
to
a
me."
strong
and stuff.
Githyanki
Yeah,
warrior.
like I'm like, because like the other girl's plan was for them to take a Githyanki and give it to scholars.
And to
to
raise it as a peace-loving
Yes,
thing.
It was
Exactly.
actually a very
Come
cool
on,
experiment. No, I thought it was a great idea.
Well, if you sell it to her, you'll see what happens, and maybe I'll talk about that in Act 3 because it doesn't go the way that they wanted. But
Interesting
let's just say
experiment, though.
Good.
you can show your true colors are based on. Well, they're just generalizing race, and it's true. So we'll talk about that one a little bit later. But in terms of the Crash, so I played through this twice, and one of the cool things I did in the second playthrough, I just saw this online. I was like, I'll give that a go. But you know when you're coming over the bridge where the dragon is, and you can get into the cutscene, and you see the Githyanki kill a load of Iron Fists?
Yes.
Where you're up there, like above them for a little while, I save scummed the fuck out of this area specifically for this, but I was using command drop on Kithrak Voss, who is the dragon rider. And he has the sword of like Astral Prism or some shit like that. That might not be the exact name, but if you look into it, it's like the best Githyanki weapon you can get. So I command drop that, and after maybe 20 to 30 loads, I actually got him to drop it. It's a 12% chance of him actually dropping it. But if you get it, you have to fight all these Githyanki. On my current playthrough, I'm also playing on hard mode.
And the dragon as well?
No, the dragon flies off,
okay.
and he flies off too. So he's gone, but the weapon remains.
Oh,
so
interesting.
You fight all those guys. Like I had to do it on hard. It was so difficult, but you just keep basically pushing them off cliffs and hoping that the fall damage and AoE spells will wreck them. But basically, by getting this sword, it cheesed the entire Githyanki Crash. It treated it as though I had already had the Blackett conversation and stuff like that. It like I went to a long rest, and Kithrak Voss, the guy whose sword I made him drop, he came to my camp and he's just like, Blackett is like a deceiver, and he talks to you about Orpheus, or is that his name? Orpheus?
Yeah, Orpheus.
And he talks to you about Orpheus and kind of gives you this laydown. And I haven't been to the Crash yet. I'm still like, I've long rested outside without having gone in. And then like, I think when you actually finish that quest later in the game, he offers you that sword. So by me getting the sword early, it's bugged it and kind of jumped the story along for him, which is just such a weird way.
It's so cool though.
Yeah,
that happened to me several times in Act 3, so I won't talk about it. But with loads of quests, things happened out of the sequence, and it bugged the game a lot.
Yeah. There's definitely like a right way to go about them. Like if you do like half of a quest and then don't finish it, or if you do like the second half of a quest by accident by just discovering it, you can kind of fuck yourself over there as well. So
that's very cool.
I don't think it's cool at all. It meant that like most of the quests I did in the game, I never actually completed from start to finish. It always got botched in some way by me doing something out of sequence, or getting the finishing the quest before someone gave it to me, or something like that, and then it wouldn't have the resolution I expected. And it would always annoy me because I was just like, I know something else was supposed to happen here, but I have no idea what it is.
Like they are absolutely unforgiving. Like I'll always mention it because I love the Wasteland franchise, but they were the exact same.
Which
and
one?
Like Wasteland.
Okay.
So Wasteland 2 and 3, very like open world kind of RPG style. What we got here, it's Dungeons and Dragons with a different formula. And it's amazing, but like that, you get bugged out of quests all the time by doing them out of sequence in a slightly different order. And then this game has got like a lot of better like, you know, quality of life compared to that. Like it tries not to completely lock you out of it, but I got locked out of like getting Halsin as a companion in Act 1 on my main playthrough, and that just bugged me out of having him as a companion. And it meant that when it came to, you know, when he's holding off the portal, that quest, I got bugged out of it, and he wouldn't show up. So I got fucked out of that, and that was on my main.
And that is an
playthrough,
essential
you know?
quest. Like
So
that's a game-changing quest.
I had to. Well, we won't go into that. I'll talk about more about that part. What happens at the end of the Shadowfell area?
Yes.
You know.
Sure.
But
Let's roll back a bit. Yeah.
Excellent. So briefly, because we were on the Githyanki Crash, we're in that region. Without going too much into the internal workings of the Crash anymore, if we just kind of talk about the Eagle puzzle, because you get an amazing legendary weapon there.
The Eagle puzzle? What are you talking about here?
That's,
that's
the Blood of Lathander puzzle.
Yeah.
In the Crash?
It's outside the
It's
Crash.
right outside the Crash. There is a ruin of this...
the Dawn Masters and the Dawn Shield Bearer, and they're like there's 4 pictures on like stained glass thing, and you have to go get the ceremonial weapons that line up with what each one of them represented and used.
And you get a key.
Cool.
And with that key inside, was it inside
It's
the Crash?
in the
Yes,
basement
inside
of the
the basement of the Crash. You use that special key in order to open a compartment, and in it there's a mace. That inside, right? Yeah, that inside it has the Blood of Lathander, and that's the name of the weapon.
Cool.
And that weapon, I mean, I think I got it when I was level 3 or 4 when I got to the Crash.
Whoa!
I am level 7, I think now, 7 or 8, and I still have that weapon.
Out of curiosity, how did you discover this?
I just did it.
You just did it. You didn't look up anything. You
I
just so happened upon
swear,
this?
hand to God,
Okay.
whatever.
'Cause
I did not look
I would
anything.
say that in every single puzzle that there's ever been in this game, I had to look up the answer because
So-
I just could never figure it out.
So this one in particular, I think that because I'm very, very keen on the puzzle part of this. I'm less into the fighting, but the puzzles, I'm very interested in how they actually made them. So when they presented that puzzle, I was like, okay, there's got to be something really, really cool about that. And then I managed to solve that puzzle. I got the key, and then I thought that was the end of that puzzle. Now, my little birdie Marcus, he learned about that, and in his playthrough, he never did that. He didn't find that out, and he's the one who told me, who went online to check it, and he's the one who told me there's something that you can do with it. I won't tell you what. And then when I got to that to the basement in the crash, he's like, look better. Save here, look better. Don't give up on this.
Okay.
And that's the only thing that I knew about that.
But how many hours would you say you spent doing that little
That
search quest?
side quest, I think I spent maybe 3 or 4 hours on that side quest alone.
So if I had done any of that, I'd have quit the game because I don't enjoy that. That's not fun
Fair
for
enough.
me.
No,
And
that's fair.
I really get annoyed when like I'm struggling to find things that just aren't well
Placed.
placed, or they don't give a good description of where you should look and things like that.
I can counteract your point, and it's just a bit of like you have to go around the terrain, you have to like explore what's around you. So the reason I call it the eagle puzzle is because that's where you get your biggest clue. By wiping out the eagles, there's a little bird that wanted you, like to rescue his nest because the eagles invaded it and took it away from him.
Well, that's true. I talked to that bird. Yeah. I remember him.
So you talk to that bird, and
He's
gives
a dickhead.
you. No, he's all right. He tells you how to solve the puzzle. He doesn't directly tell you, but he tells you where there's a chest. And when you go down to where he said that there is a chest by the docks, if you unlock that, it's like a rusty weapon. And if you read one of the diaries of like this whole like the Blood of Lathander, that one of the diaries, it talks about each person's weapon, and if you've put all these ceremonial weapons that you find, there's one room in the entire creche on the outside of it, there's a ceremonial weapon already on the pedestal, so there's one already there, and you have been picking them up as you go around. So when you read this thing, it tells you which one of them all, what weapon they used, and if you put like the right one in the right area, it'll like stick and like it'll glow in a color. So it signifies you've got the right one. And then the fourth one is the blue jay. He tells you where to go to get this rusty weapon. You throw the rusty weapon in the missing piece, where it tells you where somebody was buried, like the Dawn Star or whatever his name was. He was buried out there on the coast.
Yes, good job.
And
good
then,
memory.
yeah, so then you put his thing in the right area, and then that's all the ceremonial weapons. So you have 3 ceremonial weapons and 1 rusty weapon. But the rusty weapon, if you read the thing, it tells you that, he died with this, and it's just how it happens that you're looking for this last person's thing. His burial site is over here. You get a rusty weapon of a missing kind of thing that he used. So you're like, okay, I'll use that. And then that gives you access to the little token or fragment that will give you the Blood of Lathander when you go into the creche basement.
I can imagine that must have felt very satisfying.
It was, and again,
especially if you hadn't looked anything up. But that is the type of thing that I would never ever figure out because
fair.
like there's just so much in the game, and I'm trying to get through it that even most quests, I don't even remember who gave me the quest. I'm just looking at the thing and being like, okay, I need to go here. And then when I go there, I'm like, what the hell am I even looking for? There's just so many and so much stuff that going on.
There is a lot of stuff going on in that game. That is absolutely true.
And the pacing of it, like depending on how you find a problem or a quest, if you get there early or whatever, we talked about it, but it can really just mess up like your ideal playthrough. You accidentally fight somebody who you weren't meant to fight, and now you're just like, when you meet them people later, instead of having dialogue options, they just immediately want to kill you, and you're like, oh no, come on.
But I do respect. I love that you did it, because you'll have that memory now forever, and that's one of the things that all that effort you went through, you'll never remember that the slogging and all the crap, but you'll remember the great memory of just figuring something out in the game that I think few probably did at the time.
I think that when I got that weapon in the end, I was like, this is the best feeling in the world. I actually solved something, and it's something that got dragged for such a long time because I didn't know what to do with that artifact that I found, and then it kind of got dragged more and more. I'm like, what's happening here? But when you find, it was just so satisfying.
Yeah,
And
I'd say so.
to give it to, I gave it to Shadowheart because obviously I gave it to Shadowheart.
There's not a single puzzle that I figured out by myself. Not one.
Really?
Every single puzzle in the entire game, I had to look up the answer. And sometimes the answer, people didn't know the answer. Everyone on the internet didn't know the answer.
Name one or two of these puzzles.
I'm really interested.
Okay,
now.
the biggest example of this is in the Temple of Shar, when you have to cross this fucking gap. And they're saying, "Oh, Shar will guide you. You're supposed to see this invisible fucking walkway or something."
And you have to turn off all the lights. And that's how you. And that because Shar tells you when you go in. Shar tells you the true path is revealed in darkness. Or I'm paraphrasing, of course.
No, they said Shar will guide you or some bullshit.
No,
like.
she says darkness because there's a ton of levers that drop all the chandeliers from the ceiling, and you just go around and turn them off. And once all the room is dark,
there's no way.
The way is revealed.
I can simplify that for both of you as well. If you go in and offer your blood to it, it'll just show you the path, and you just stay on the blue, invisible kind of.
Offer your blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all you had to do.
She does like blood, that woman. Yeah.
Yeah. If you offer your blood, literally, you can see the outline of tiles that you can stand on, and you can just jump.
I could not figure that out, and not only that, I went on a YouTube to find the answer, and every single video was like, okay, just follow this path. This is the path you take. But not one person in all of the internet at the time knew how to actually solve the puzzle. They just knew
your blood.
They knew the route through like trial and error.
So I just turned off
Granted,
the lights.
This was about 2 months ago. I'm sure the guide is up now. But at that time, 1 million people had watched this video, and not one person, even in the comments, could say how they got that route. It was all trial and error. You know?
And yet we solved the problem in 2 different ways.
I went crazy over that. Like, it really bothered me.
What I did not know, and again, because Marcus played that game, so he was able to help me. There was in the Temple of Shar, there are a few riddles, and you have to put in books as the.
I also hated that too. Like,
so I didn't connect that it was the books that need the thing. And Marcus said, "Oh, you like books? Go read the books in the library." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll go and read the books." And when you read the books, you find the answers. So that was something that I didn't think about when I encountered it.
But even in the other puzzle where you walk in and all of a sudden there's shadow versions of everybody, but if you don't let the person you're controlling kill their shadow, you get cursed.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, nobody can know that. It's never explained, and why would you? And then you're fucked for the rest of the temple.
Unless you have Shadowheart, who has cure curse, remove curse.
There's no such spell.
Yeah,
Yes,
Well, it's definitely not called that.
It's called Remove Curse.
Remove curse.
Remove curse
You
is
can
a
get
spell.
Shadowheart has
spells,
it.
scrolls, and
Do you know why
everything.
we're talking about save scumming? Every single time one of my characters was cursed, I save scummed. I was like, I'm not doing this because it's
you
like
play with
being hit
Gale?
with Marlboro in Final Fantasy VIII with bad breath. You are fucked if you get cursed.
You use
somewhere.
Gale in your party. You could have like at any point just given them Remove Curse. And
But he's a wizard. He doesn't have cleric skills.
But remove curse is a scroll, and he can
learn
he can learn it.
the scroll.
Okay, I didn't know he could learn
And Remove Curses are like they might be like $400 if you got good charisma. $400.
I have to look this up. Are you sure there's a thing called remove curse?
100% because I got cursed so many times, and Shadowheart just
but you have
removed
to touch
it
them,
every
though, don't
time.
you? You have to physically touch them.
I think it's a touch.
Yeah, I
thing,
know, but
sure.
if one of the characters just fires a berserk spell that hits 3 of your characters, remove curse isn't going to help you.
But that isn't a curse either. Like Berserk is just like
it's a condition.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm talking more about conditions.
Conditions,
because if any of my characters ever got hit with a condition, I'm like, okay, that character is just basically dead.
There's
useless.
There's a spell you can use. I can't remember what the name of it is.
Calm emotions.
Yes, calm emotions
removes a bunch of those conditions.
And you can
bunch.
I think it gets rid of frightened.
Definitely Berserk. Definitely frightened.
Yeah, and charm, frightened.
Frightened was the most annoying skill in the whole game.
Which one?
Frightened. Being frightened, because you're just like your character just starts running away and then just doesn't fight.
So we share that, by the way, because I'm a bard too in my game, because it was very important for me to be myself in the game. So I just go around and talk to everyone. So and that was exactly my idea of what I wanted my playthrough to be, just to talk to everyone, get all the backstory, all the things. And I think I can't remember at what point of the game it is in the Shadowfell that you have options. What can you answer? And if you are a bard, all your options are bard performance. There's like 7 or 8 options, and all of them are bard performance, bard performance. I was like, oh, this is so nice.
Well, very nice overall. Right, well, will we keep on and finish with the Crash so we can move on to the Grimforge? Because we haven't got into that, like a lot of shit already.
Yeah, we're 30 minutes in now.
You need to be getting going. So, very quickly, in the Githyanki Crash, the machine, you guys, we briefly talked about it earlier. So, you need to do a couple of saving throws, and if you fail, Daniel, I never actually failed. So, can you tell us what happens if you fail your saving throws?
So, for me, because I am a tiefling bard and I support my comrades in the party, when we got to the Crash, Lae'zel took, of course, charge. She was the one who was doing most of the talking, and my character just stood back and watched. And when we got to the healer, and she said, oh, there's the machine, go in. So Lae'zel was the one to go in there first. And then I had no rolls. No one asked me to roll anything. The if I remember correctly, I might not remember.
You do roll for her.
You definitely, and you roll several
times. The machine
times.
exploded, and once the machine exploded, she got
brain damage.
She got mad crippled with everything.
Yeah.
And I just said to myself, okay, I'm never playing that character again. And I just left
crippled,
her. She gets -2 to intelligence,
strength.
-2 to constitution, -2 to something else I can't remember.
It's definitely strength as well, because it
Strength?
ruins her character. Like if you allow it to happen, it's...
Now you can fix it. You can fix that if you get her to eat a bunch of mind flayer larvae. So,
that's so weird.
You can fix those -2.
Really?
Yes,
That's
if you get her to eat enough mind flayer
specimens.
larvae. She that whatever it is that it's not a curse because you can't remove
it's like
it with a curse.
Permanent kind
it's
of
a permanent
debuff.
debuff. So that debuff is removed. But I just never do that because I don't eat any of my larvae. That's not my character.
That's weird.
Very, very interesting. If you do pass it, and I did this on my first playthrough, I passed it and I kind of fucked up because my first playthrough, I wasn't using the illithid powers whatsoever. And by passing these skill checks and by not letting Lae'zel go in front of me, I passed it and it like grew my larvae or my specimen to a larger size, and it like it evolves and allows you to use the mind flare actions as a bonus action. And meanwhile, I'm just like, oh fuck, like I don't want Lae'zel to get like really hurt or anything like that and have to deal with what you did and like feed her larva. That sounds like a really bad time. But also now I was like, in terms of a role play, I was like, is this going to affect at the end of the game? I'm going to be like, oh, your mind flare is too strong to like be removed. Like, no, don't fuck me over this way. But did you didn't get that buff? No,
because I didn't pass any of those checks. So Lae'zel just got really debuffed. The machine blew up. I finished the entire Crash with her on my team because I didn't even know she got debuffed. And then I found that out and I was like, okay, you're staying in camp. I didn't like you to begin with, so goodbye. Yeah, that's it. Okay. I know that you love her as a character. As a
character, I think she's awful. But no, because she's a fighter, I used her for my entire playthrough.
But for me, she was never even in my regular.
Her personality, I think, is atrocious. Yeah. Like it's really crap.
Yeah. On my first really playthrough over there, I just hated her. Didn't use her at all. I didn't even get her till the second act. I just did not like her. She was so standoffish. But on this playthrough, she's my squeeze, and it's me and her going all the way. I even broke Gail's heart over her.
For me, Lae'zel was never interested. Shadowheart for me was thirsty AF.
Yeah, I screwed up my relationship with her
that takes
for Will.
Because you can't even romance her in Act 1. You have to wait till Act 2.
Act 1.
No way.
When after we saved the Grove.
Yeah, you share a bottle together. And there's a kiss.
We didn't kiss. We went.
You went all the way in Act 1?
In Act 1 with Shadowheart. She offered herself. I was like, I wanted to hook up. I wanted to hook up with Will. And we just shared a kiss, and I was like, how about we spend the night? And he's like, no, I'm an old-fashioned guy. I'm like, yeah, go somewhere else. And then I went to Shadowheart, and she's like, I don't want to spend the night on my own. I was like,
so you shared a bottle of wine, yeah.
So we shared a bottle of wine, we kissed, and then the entire night. And after that, she just got really clingy, really uncomfortable, clingy. And I had to kind of leave her in camp for a while because I was like, I don't want her. This is uncomfortable. But then my romance with Will grew. And I went and broke up with Shadowheart. And she's like, yeah, I could tell that you and Will are sharing something special. So I'll step aside. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. You are a cool person, Shadowheart.
She
I
is
had
very
that
good.
exact
You can have a
dialogue.
foursome with her in Act 3, but I won't go into it now.
I messed up my Shadowheart relationship by like proclaiming my love to Will by accident. I was just pressing
heard that,
X really quickly, and so we had the same situation but in reverse.
So I
wanted
don't know about the foursome, but definitely not with Will, because Will is like a real old school romance kind of guy. We had like a whole thing where we danced together. He refuses to have sex with me. This is really frustrating. But the whole Shadowheart was really cool because she was like, "Oh, I want to talk about us." I'm like, I need to go. Mind flayers to kill.
While we're on Shadowheart, and I do think she's a huge part of Act 2's storyline, like because like when you get her, she's a Shar kind of like initiate,
Worshipper,
or she wants to be.
She wants to be a dark justiciar.
Justiciar, that's the word.
Or just a car with whichever person is talking.
Yeah.
They completely botch it several
really?
times. Some people say
I don't remember that.
Justiciar or Justiciar, and some say just a car. But they obviously, maybe they were in COVID and they had the actors read the lines, so people pronounce it differently.
Interesting. I didn't cop on that.
It's a big world, yeah. Tomato.
Yeah.
But I thought that compared to the rest of the story, I think Shadowheart's story is so fleshed out, especially during Act 2.
strongly disagree.
Really?
Yep.
I didn't get to Act 3. I don't know what happens there, but during Act 2, like the whole Shar temple and
It's all focused on Shadowheart.
her
Yeah, the Shar Temple
her
is.
change, her like how she goes through the whole Shar thing. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And then when she meets the Night Song and everything, that was amazing.
I thought that was amazing too.
I
Really,
did
really
not
good.
think that was going to happen. Like I was just like, I'll let you do what you're going to do, and then she
Really?
throws it down.
So for me, I tried to persuade her, and it was a 30 persuasion,
Oh,
and I critted,
nice.
fair play.
and then she threw it out. So no matter what you do, if you tell her do your own thing,
If you fail that check,
if you
I'd say
fail the
she'll-
check, no, she never kills Night Song apparently.
Oh, does she not? I thought I
Really?
built up such a strong bond
I
with her
thought
that
so.
changed
I
her
thought
mind,
so
yeah.
too, but apparently, so again, Marcus was there. He waited for me to get there. He really wanted me. He really wanted me to.
That scene.
He really wanted to see what I would do. He really wanted me to see what I would do. He really wanted to see what I would do, and he kept saying, "Oh, just say, do whatever you want. You can't pass a check of 30. Do whatever you want." So apparently, if you say just do whatever you want, that's always what she does.
Yeah.
I
She
did say
throws
just do
the
what you want,
dagger.
but I honestly felt that me and her bond was so strong that she was listening to me. So does that mean if I hadn't spoken to her once in the entire game and I'd said do what you want, she would have?
I don't know.
I hope not.
I don't
I'd
know.
like to think that
The-
I had an impact.
Play it again. That's
Yeah.
the fun part of it.
But like a big thing with her as well, like is her whole like duality, because like she's got Shar and she's got Selûne, because in Act 2 you kind of find out that she's found out where all the Dark Justiciars are going, so she's gonna go to this temple, she's gonna get sorted out with them, but along this way there's peppered in like little like nuggets of like not doubt, but there's like little holes in her story, links to her with Selûne and stuff like that. So the more that like unravels with like Shadowheart, like have you gotten into her big background? I don't know. Some of it will be going into Act 3.
Some of it is an actually.
So for me right now, all I know is that she was kidnapped
Yeah.
by
as a
the Dark
child.
Justiciars, by the followers of Shar, and her parents are alive. And I finished Act 2, sorry. So one of the quests is to go and find Shadowheart's parents.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
this is where I am.
Nice. All right. Well, then that does verge onto Act 3, so we won't go into all of that there. But I just think that like Shadowheart's entire like kind of I would never not have her in the party, because she's just the best cleric, you know, like
Yeah.
she's a bit of a tank, and she's like capable of healing everybody. Like you need a healer, and you could reclass anyone else if you want, but I just don't want to do that either. I like to have a natural cleric
Yeah.
as opposed to like a job spec cleric.
I like her. I like Shadowheart.
Yeah, I was a
from
big
the
Shadowheart
beginning,
fan,
she
and the
was
voice
great.
actor was tremendous.
Yes, that's true.
like,
And she's very
yeah.
cute too.
So hopefully we can finish her story off and talk about it properly in the next episode, because
Part
that
3.
would be pretty awesome. But
Did we finish the crash 40 minutes in?
all of the
we have
crashes
20
done.
minutes left, and we've talked about the crash.
Yeah. Well, we could keep going, and we could just like.
Well, we
see
did the
what
Blood
happens.
of Lathander, so that's basically all that part.
I think we just need to cover the best parts. So like the
Yeah.
Shadowland, or the arrival to the Shadowlands.
The Shadowlands
that was a
is the
great
yeah.
moment. you know?
So I want to hear how you arrived into the Shadowland, because I did not arrive like
Okay,
that.
I just took the elevator from the Grim Forge.
Okay.
And then immediately I got into a battle with those kind of wraiths, and then a bunch of Harpers who were on their way to the inn, and like we got in the battle, and then we were all surrounded, and it was a really cool battle. And then after that, I got to the temple.
Last Light
But I
Tower.
really love the opening of part. For me, that's where part 2 opens, and it was a really cool atmospheric
It's very
battle.
spooky. I
Very,
like
very
it. Very
spooky.
cool.
So for me, I got into the Shadowland. I can't remember who gave me that spider loot.
For me, on my second playthrough, I raided the Grove, and Minthara gives you the spider loot. And
Minthara. So I probably killed her,
yeah.
and
you
that's
can
where
also
I found
find
the
a spider loot in the. Do you know where you find the spiders as well? In the Blighted Village, in the basement there's a spider loot, and I don't know if you.
Maybe that's where I found it.
You obviously went into the Shadowfell by going through the Goblin
The
camp.
Goblin Camp, yeah.
So you went through that
Same.
way, and when you go through that way, you meet the goblins, and they're like,
And there's a
"Oh,
bugbear there, and the bugbear says, "Oh, you want to get to Moonrise Tower?
Oh yeah.
So please call our guide." And I had no idea what he's talking about, so I asked, "Oh, what do you mean? Yeah, you have the loot. Play the loot and call our guide." So you take out the spider loot and you start playing the Spider's Lament, and there's a Drider that comes out of the shadows with the lantern. And he's like, "Oh yeah, sure, no problem. I'm your guide. Follow me."
He is so cool, but you're just brushing off him. He is so cool.
He's one one of the coolest characters in the game. I think it was
there's
so
you see the guy
amazing.
who is the spider?
He's
Yeah.
like
Okay.
half a man,
Yeah,
body of a
I
spider.
did the boss battle with him, and I was like, yeah,
So he was on my side
Yeah.
until I got ambushed by the Harpers.
The Harpers. If you go through the Harper side, you ambush him, or you can use
That's what I
your
did, yeah.
like persuasion or illicit powers to convince him that the Absolute are sending you, and you can convince him to give you the lantern and tell him to go into the fog or whatever. So that's very cool. But then on your side as well, you can also you're with him, and when you first meet him with the goblins, one of the goblins is like, "Look, we'll show you what's in the dark," and she throws a bone into the like darkness, and a coyote or like a wolf or something runs after the bone, and the wraiths like kill it, and then the spider guy goes, "Do not anger the spirits," and it like smashes her down, like impales her with his legs.
Oh.
And it's so
don't
dark,
remember
and
that.
Grizzly was like, "Holy fuck, like,
That's
I've
awesome.
killed this guy before," but like I seeing it on this side as he's your friend, he treats his job very seriously. Like,
So once we got ambushed by the Harpers, you get a choice. Who are you siding with? Are you gonna side with the spider, or are you gonna side with the Harpers? And obviously, I sided with the Harpers.
So the good guys.
Of
yeah.
course,
You
I'm
have
a good guy. So I had to kill that poor spider. That was sad. But then you get to Last Light Inn, which is I thought Last Light Inn was a great
location.
a great location.
yeah.
And I wanted to mention Jaheira, which is a nod to Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. She was a great character there, and it was really, really cool.
Is she in both games?
She's in both games.
wow.
Nice.
And it was great, so great to see her for them to bring her back into the third game. It was, for people who played the first two games, it was like a real moment of, oh my god. It was really, really cool.
Well, if you continue into Act 3, here's a little like thing. If you use Jaheira in your party, you can get some dialogue that is very, very fun. Excuse me, I had to hiccup there. It gives you access to a quest, and if you have her in your party for this specific quest, you will get the best possible outcome, and it is something that, as a fan of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, you will get very on board with.
I know that there's another character
you
from
know
Baldur's
of
Gate
this
1 and 2
character.
because I know who voices that character in Baldur's
Wow.
Gate 3.
That is impressive.
Yeah.
You knew the voice. I haven't seen anyone of the voice cast's actual name.
So the voice cast of that specific character that we will leave for the great reveal in Act
Yes.
3 is Matt Mercer.
Wow,
So,
that's
he
him.
does the
Cool.
voice for that specific character.
Deadly. Okay, well then if you don't want to get spoiled, don't Google Matt Mercer fucking Baldur's Gate 3.
don't Google that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you do, you just did that. Why did you do that? So I think that's amazing. Like we've kind of talked about like Jaheira in the what's it called again?
Last Light Inn.
Last Light Inn. That is a very, very cool area. And the whole thing, like I did it a little bit too early, but if you go upstairs after talking to Jaheira, you talk to the Isabel, is that her name?
Yeah.
You talk to Isabel, and that immediately starts off the confrontation with this other fucking
Marcus.
guy. Marcus, yes. Marcus comes along, and they're like, well, like he's like, oh, you're a parasite.
He's now a true soul.
Yeah,
true soul.
He wants to take Isabel to General Thorm, who's like the main villain of this act
for whatever reasons. We
for
don't
whatever
know.
reason.
Yeah.
But he's gonna take her off for whatever reason, and he's like telling you in the mind, like, "Hey, let's get her," like telepathically. And then no matter what you do, Isabel picks up on whatever interaction you have. So if you're like Marcus is trying to like take you away, then you're with her in the fight. But if you're like, oh, don't mind him, then she'll fight against you, thinking that you're trying to like take her, and like she knows something's going on. And then for no reason, Marcus just goes, "Let me show you my power," and then he just has wings. It's just like, okay, that's so weird, but good for you, man. But that battle then kicks off, which is crazy because if she gets taken, her ability, which is like the like shield maiden,
Last Light Inn,
that's like the moon
disappears.
lanterns or the moon maiden. She's preventing the shadows from getting in. So if you lose that battle, and you don't even have to lose it, if she gets taken by even one of the ghouls
or dies or whatever,
or gets knocked out, they take her off, and then the whole veil comes down, and then the shadows kill everybody
except
inside.
for Jaheira.
Except for Jaheira, but then you have to fight every single one of the dead people because they're possessed now. It is so fucked up. I did it on the second playthrough, and I save scummed. I was just like, this is cool for a dark playthrough, but now I've lost all my merchants, and this is really shit. Like, it's gonna ruin the game for me now.
I think we should touch about the kind of mini bosses or General Thorm's family. Because they were kind of cool. The toll collector was...
That's his mother
amazing.
or his wife?
Oh, is it his mother
it's his
or
wife.
his wife?
I think it's the wife.
Whichever.
Sorry.
So in the Shadowfell, there's the toll house. And when you get into the toll house,
I know, but you had for me, I had to run through there as fast as I could because I was taking damage.
Yeah, but you didn't have the moon lantern, so
I had the
pixie.
Did you open the moon lantern?
Yes.
Me too, but it doesn't protect you.
It does.
But there's a ferry there.
It only protects you from the standard areas. It doesn't protect you from anywhere near Moonrise Tower.
When
like
you go,
the tall
you
gate
need
you're
the
talking
lantern.
about,
If you don't have,
like I heard there.
If you don't have the lantern for those areas, then you can't go into those concentrated dark areas.
Yeah.
You need to have somebody holding the lantern out.
But
if you don't, you'll get triggered in combat
we took the pixie out
mode.
of the lantern, so we only have the
So
pixie.
once I took the pixie out of the lantern, there were a few checks that I had to roll, and then the pixie blessed everyone in my party.
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
and then I could just go without any lantern.
But not through those concentrated areas.
It does work, but I think what you probably did is because on my first playthrough, I never long rested. I sparsely, like very, very sparsely, was trying to long rest and not like whatever events would happen. I didn't want them to happen because I long rested and cancelled myself out of events. But if you take the ferry out, the downside is if you long rest, that ability goes because I did notice then after a while when I went back it wasn't working. But if you don't let her go, you get to keep the lantern, but you can get two. So if you kill the spider guy, that's one. But then if you also go to the
Isabel gives you one.
This is
she gives you a spell that protects you in general, but the moon lantern is what like protects you in the concentrated areas.
I thought Isabel gave it to me.
Balthazar has like a lab in the main manor of Moonrise Towers, and if you go in there, you can get the lantern there as well.
Okay.
But in order to get there, you have to run through the concentrated dark area, which I had to do.
You had
and I took damage the
options.
entire time.
You had
two
options,
of my characters
Greg.
died.
You could have either gotten the escort, which is what we did with the
spider
guy.
We attacked him,
and then you get the thing off him from his body.
Yeah, but once you get the pixie, she blesses you, and then you're okay in general areas. But in those concentrated areas, I took damage.
Well, you must have long rested.
I probably did long rest, but the game didn't tell me that if I long rested, I
don't remember having that problem. But maybe, honestly,
that's the only thing I can think.
Because I did loads of quests after that. Because I didn't want to go to Moonrise Tower. I wanted, so I probably like long rest 3 or 4 times after that.
So did you go to the toll house? Did you see the golden lady?
No. I did the quest later on with the guy.
So he hasn't seen any of those because all those areas we're talking about.
Basically, I had to sprint to Moonrise Tower before my health reached 0, and like I just about made it, and 2 of my characters died.
Okay.
And I was,
Well, that's not the ideal way to do it, obviously.
yeah, I know, but the game didn't go, oh, don't long rest or you'll lose your pixie power.
Fair
Like,
enough.
Well, like there's also the decision where like this is the one thing that will protect you in this area, and you want to let it out of the bottle. Like I was like, I say it beforehand because I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. This thing threatens to kill you. Like it's like, oh, let me out of here, I'll fucking rip your heart out and all. It's like, okay, this is a dodgy thing. Like if I let it out, it might just like be a, well, you shouldn't have let it out moment.
I
Yeah.
looked it up online, and the majority of people were saying, no, you're best to let her out. You know, because
I
in those
kept
situations,
her.
I always look up the answer online because I don't want to ruin
Fair
the game.
enough.
You
Yeah,
can at any point you can examine that lantern. So I used it for ages, and then toward the end of its usefulness, I just like examined it again, and it was like, oh, you can go, and it just treats you like kind of as though you've done it for the first time and haven't used it.
But
to
I was
explore
furious
everywhere.
that I couldn't get to Moonrise Tower, and I missed all of those quests
Yeah.
because I couldn't. Once I got to Moonrise Tower, I was able to get the extra lantern, and then I was able to do it. But by
Yeah.
then, it was too late.
Did
know?
you go to the House of Healing? That was
I did.
again an amazing
Yeah.
place.
I did, but because I couldn't ever finish that quest because the guy who with the scissors, or the
Yeah, yeah,
doctor,
the
like I
doctor.
convinced all his nurses to kill him,
Yeah.
and they did.
Yeah.
But then whatever item I meant to get off him, I sent to my instead of putting it in my inventory, I immediately sent it to my camp,
Uh-huh.
which doesn't count as getting it from it.
Oh.
So for me, from my entire playthrough, there was just a quest in that exact spot in the center of the House of Healing, and I had no idea why. You know, like I could never finish
what
that
is the
quest.
item? Do you
I
remember?
can't remember.
I can't remember either.
Yeah, it's just
I
a
remember
unusual
you
thing
had
do.
to go there for some reason. I just can't remember
Well,
why.
behind him, I found that place by accident because behind him, the House of Healing is the mausoleum, and you have to kind of go there to get to
the Temple of Shar.
Raphael meets you outside,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
wants you to take care of his old friend.
Did you kill his old friend?
I did the first time, and the second time,
I let her go. Him? Her?
Did you kill the rats?
I did.
Yeah?
I did kill the rats.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the rats.
All of them, yes.
All the rats.
Excellent.
There's
What
a hidden
happens? 'Cause
thing you
mine
guys
bugged.
are talking about here. obviously.
Did you kill the rats?
Why would I kill rats? Who
Okay,
gives a fuck
fair
about
enough.
rats?
Because they're very mean. They're
Yeah.
very mean rats.
You can speak to the animals, and if you speak to them, you learn that they are like, first they're really annoying and like they're telling you to fuck off, but if you go down to one of the basementy areas, you find like a ritual area, and it's basically like a thing that says somebody has used this to transmogrify themselves, and then you look into it, and then it's like it just tells you essentially that the rats, all the swarm of rats around, are one person, and the contract of your man,
I can't remember the name of
the
that
gigantic
big guy. Yeah.
Jurgen or something like that, something like that anyway. But the big giant guy anyway that have to
Yeah.
go down that Raphael sends you to kill. If you slaughter the rats, they are all one person. So if
And are they
if
the
you
last
talk to the
person?
rats, they'll say like, "Oh, if you anger us, we'll all attack." And if you let that happen, then you can kill them and then tell your man, and then that will break his contract with Raphael.
Oh wow! So
Yeah.
it could actually be done.
Yeah, but that's the thing. That's what his trick is. That's Raphael's trick to him. Is like, you can leave when everyone's dead, but there's one person left, and he is a
He's
swarm of
a
rats.
swarm of rats, and
I
he
never-
has
'cause-
to kill
Because
all the rats.
he always assumes that it must be me or it must be my own minions, you know, type
Yeah.
of thing. And I was like, yeah, that's obviously it, you know.
Um,
That's cool that there was an actual way out. And
Yeah.
did you convince him of that?
So what happened with me was I was slaughtering the rats, and then something happened where I got bugged out. I also told the rats that I wouldn't hurt them, and they would show me treasure. But then I started killing them, and then it kind of bugged. So I didn't get
once you say show me treasure, and apparently the treasure isn't worth it, but once you say show me treasure, you lock yourself out of helping that giant.
Yeah, and
girl
that
guy.
is what happened with me. So
Yeah.
I just fucked up on the save, but then I was like, that's bullshit. I can't go
So
back.
as someone who hasn't done that, I convinced him to kill himself and to all his men, including his job.
Oh.
But what could have happened there then if I had killed the rats and then talked
So
to
if
him?
you kill the rats, Raphael appears, because Raphael sent you there to kill this guy.
Yeah.
And then Raphael appears, and the guy says to Raphael, "Hey, I'm out of the contract. I fulfilled the contract." But Raphael says, "Oh, well, you didn't fulfill it. This guy fulfilled it for you."
Okay.
So they make arrangements for a new contract, and then he just goes away with Raphael, and
okay.
Asterion is livid with you because the point of killing that guy was that Raphael would translate
The rune on his back.
Asterion's tattoos,
Yeah.
and then you let him go, and Asterian's like, what did you do? Why did you? And I'm like, oh, listen, dude, I'm so sorry. Come on, don't be mad at me. And I managed to placate him, but Asterion is this close to leaving me. Just this close. He is hanging by a thread.
I didn't have Asterion with me by then, so yeah.
I always had him in my first playthrough, and yes, like it's mad. On my second playthrough, I don't have him in my party because I want to have dialogue with other people and stuff. But there's moments where, like, when you're in camp, he's just like, I can't believe you spoke to Raphael without me. And then it happened a second time, and he's just like, I need to know more about these runes.
He's so dramatic.
Yeah.
Jeez, calm down.
He's a
drama
complete
queen.
diva,
I love him, though. He's like,
No,
my
he's
favorite.
great. He's
well,
a
he
great
is
character.
evil ultimately, like,
Of
you know?
course, yeah.
But I do like how it plays out.
I like his way of evilness. Which, by the way, did you do that in Moonrise Tower in the lab, where she discovers that you know Asterion?
Yes, yeah.
And she really wants Asterion to bite her.
Who's she?
It's
Sorry.
when you're in Moonrise Tower, there's a drow, and she asks to make elixirs based on
give
your
you
blood.
a special potion for your blood.
But
Yeah,
she
I
wants
remember.
Asterion's vampire. She wants him to bite her, but he doesn't want to do it because he's like, she smells rank.
Yeah,
her blood smells foul
bad
and stuff.
So for me, I just told Asterion. So Marcus was like, "Look, you have to do that. There's no downside. Asterion is a little
is
mad
amazing.
at you, but you get a killer potion, like
Damn
a
it.
killer potion."
Yeah, I missed out.
So I was there with Asterion, and he's like, "I really don't want to do it, man. I really don't want to do it." And I was like, "Listen, do whatever you want." And he does it. He's like, Asterion disapproves, but he still lets it happen.
And then you get a potion for +2 strength.
+2
Perma
strength
buff.
permanent.
Oh,
Yes.
it's strength, yeah. On my main character, that's absolutely useless.
No,
I
you
gave
can
it to
go over
Karlach.
20.
Huh?
You
Yeah.
can go over 20.
I know, you
and
can get to 20.
I gave it to Karlach.
Yeah.
She loved it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah,
Oh, you
I
can
gave
give it to
to
different
Lae'zel.
people. Oh, well, then it's great. If
Oh,
only
yeah.
I
It's
could give
not
it to
only for
Lae'zel,
you. You
shit.
can do whatever you want with it.
Yeah.
So I gave it specifically to Karlach.
I gave it to Lae'zel. But you need to give it to a strong member of your party.
Yeah.
So I really liked the House of Healing. I thought the entire area was really interesting, like how they envision a hospital, I guess, in that time. And like, oh yes, you all need to know how to heal. The cutting heals, the pain heals.
But they're
Like,
so
this
fucked
is so
up. Like it's like a
so
horror
creepy.
movie.
Yeah,
You go
so
in and
creepy.
they're all just slashing each other, and then the fact that you can convince the nurses to just butcher the fucking
you
doctor.
you
is
convince
so weird.
him.
Yeah, he's
Because
just like, I
look,
need a tune.
you are the only one who can really teach how this happens. And
Yeah.
like, you're so right. Take me, nurses.
Just some basic logic, and then they kill him. Like,
And it's so sinister because you can obviously just walk into that room where he is straight away by accident. But I went in through the like infirmary ward, and there was just a nurse that sells potions to you, but she's just caring for like a dead child. And you like ask her questions, she's just like, "No, I am learning, I am healing." It's like, "Oh, I think it's too late to heal." It's like, you are ignorant. Like,
So
okay.
for
Jesus.
me, there was a nurse there, and I was supposed to find the parents of one of the tieflings from the grove. The tiefling child that was taken by Koga because she stole the idol or something.
Arabelle.
So
Arabelle.
I meet her in the Shadowfell, and she tells me, I lost my parents. I don't know what to do. So they're actually dead in the House of Healing.
Oh.
And when you tell that to her, so you can talk to them if you have talked to dead people, to whatever it's called, and then they tell you that the reason why they died is that they got betrayed by the main tiefling guy from the Grove that was helping them escape. I can't remember.
I
his
know
name
who
right
you're
now.
talking about. It is the he. If you see him later in the prisons, no, you see him later
I haven't found him yet.
in Act 2.
In Act 2, I haven't found him yet.
Oh, Roland.
oh, Roland.
Roland.
No. It's someone. It starts with a Z. Zevlar.
Zevlar.
Yep. So he's the guy. If you remember in Act 1, when the people come and they knock on the groves
And the wolves are
thing, and they're
chasing
like,
them and
"Oh,
all."
open the gates! Open the gates!"
I'm pretty sure his
So
name
that's
is Roland.
Zevlar.
Is it?
There's
Zevlar.
There's a guy named Roland, but there's a Zevlar.
Okay,
too.
well, we'll go with that anyway.
I
But
think, anyway.
so yeah, if I can tell you what happens there, but you don't want the spoilers.
No, I don't.
Okay, close your ears real quick and then never re-listen to this. So basically, if you ever see this story, basically Zevlor just tells you there and then in the prisons that he just froze up in the moment, and the absolute took over his, like, took control of him. So he's like possessed by the absolute. But he also says that he allowed it to happen. So it happened mentally. Oh, so that's cool that you got that perspective of it by using to speak to the dead. Because I've done that in a few different situations. And if you change shape, you can talk to people you've killed as well. So that's pretty cool. Like every so often, it'll give you like a bit of intrigue to a story, or like they're like, oh, this person's been murdered. It's like, well, I'm gonna talk to them and see what's going on here.
Interesting, because once you tell that girl that her parents are dead, she unlocks some sort of power. And she, like a druidic power.
Yeah.
And she talks to Withers. And Withers says, listen, don't come near her. She's on her own journey right now. And then she, later on during that act 2, she disappears from your camp.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting for me. I really want to follow up.
But
on
you made
that.
sure to tell her about her parents, did you?
Yes, of course. Oh, she knows.
I didn't do that. I was like, I didn't want to dump that on a kid, and that locked me out of a future quest.
No, she knows,
because you've done that, you still have access to the
So
next.
once
did
I
that in
told
Act
her,
3.
that's when,
Did I get locked out? I think I got locked out of that then because she just left my party and I never saw her again.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about the toll collector because she
Okay,
was so
go.
funny.
We've 5 seconds left in the podcast.
Toll collector.
We're going
I
longer.
didn't.
Guys.
I didn't fight the toll collector. Did you fight the toll collector?
I did the first time, yeah.
Okay, so I almost fought the toll collector. You go into this toll house and there's money all around. If you pick the money up, the money is booby trapped. You explode. But if
you don't. You can just pick that shit up.
Once you pick the money, you go into initiative because you steal the money from the
oh,
the
maybe
toll
if she
collector.
sees you do it.
Yes.
But on the first floor, like if you go up there, you can see where she is in the background.
Okay.
So yeah, if she sees you, she'll open dialogue with you, and she's just like, "Give me money." And
So you can convince her that. So I convinced her that I'm the new toll collector, and I've come to replace her. And she's like, "Give me gold," and she's like, just dies, just kills herself because her job is over.
Oh, okay.
It's not. It's like a few checks you need to do to get that result. But if you fail that result, you have to start combat. And if you get stuck in that situation, the combat situation is you fight her, but there's like 6 skulls in the room, and they all have like low health. So you kill a skull, and it takes 100 off her health. She has like 607 health. So once you kill all 6 skulls, she has 7 health, and every turn, as long as the skull is alive, she regenerates. So it can be really fucking annoying when you like I had to fight her, I failed, fought her again after failing another time. I just didn't have any inspiration. I didn't want to load. So I fought her the second time, beat her, and then on my second playthrough, I just persuade checked her, and I got to see what you saw, and it's very satisfying because you see a help wanted sign outside on the door, and if you read that, I think that unlocks your conversation with her.
Yes.
But you just convince her that you're replacing her, and she has to go, and you just get all the money in that fucking place. So you probably get about like 2,000 to 6,000 gold just spread around in loads of random safes.
I know that we're short on time, and did you check who did the voice for Catherick Thorne, by the way? Because we talked
is it Donald Sutherland?
No, it's J.K. Simmons.
I knew that.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I
thought he was fantastic.
But he only has about 10 lines of dialogue.
So apparently he has way more if you
do a darker route.
If you are darker, or if you engage with him more. So. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how it happened with you, but the first time I met him in Moonrise Tower, I guess we're going to that spot now. Like he's executing a bunch of goblins because they failed in their mission or whatever, and then he just walks off after telling you to go find some relic for no reason. He doesn't even know who you are, and he's asking you to find a relic. Made no sense. It annoyed me.
He knows you're a true soul.
But then he fucks off to his tower, right? And then that's it. You never ever hear him speak again until the final boss, or until the boss of chapter 2. Like, did you get more dialogue from him?
So for me, I was the one who executed the goblins, not him.
Yeah, same.
And then, because there was a lot of talking to him during that time, because I wanted to save the goblins to begin with, and then it was like, listen, I can't let you go, so let's make it fair. If you kill me, you're free.
I did
if
that
not,
too.
then whatever.
Yeah. Did you persuade him to not fight, or did you have to fight him?
No, I had to fight them.
I persuaded them in this situation.
I could, but I felt like in Moonrise Tower, I should probably lay
I was
low.
the same, yeah.
Because I don't want to antagonize his second in command. Later on, I was very happy because she's like, well, what did you do with the goblins? Better yet, show me.
Yeah.
And then she's like, no. with her mind power. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so happy I killed those goblins.
Well, I think if we could go like 5-10 minutes over if we can just talk about Ketheric Thorm and the very end of like this confrontation.
Yeah,
because like we need to talk about him.
Well, we need to talk about the Moonsong. No,
so that whole ending.
Night Song.
Night Song. So I thought the Night Song was a relic.
Yeah, that's what they
Same.
tell you.
Yeah.
And then you find that she's a freaking Aasimar.
She is the daughter of Selûne, which means she is like a demigod or a god.
That was fantastic.
Pretty
That was
awesome.
just fantastic.
And she's Isabel's lover, and Isabel is Ketheric Thorm's daughter.
Oh
my God, it's all connected.
That fight in the Temple of Shar, where they were keeping the Night Song, where they were keeping what's her name? Eileen, Alice, whatever. I can't remember, but she has a name.
Mm-hmm.
But where they kept her, you have to fight Balthasar and a bunch of his people. So I didn't plan this, but I had ward sigil or ward
warding
sign.
bond, I think it might be called.
No, ward bond maybe, and you can you put
Plant
it
a
on an
trap.
area, and then whoever's in that area gets that damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I put force damage on where he was, and it exploded everybody, and everybody just fell into a chasm. So I
Force damage, amazing.
never fought Balthasar. He just exploded into a chasm, and I just sat
really
there.
cool
And
experience.
well, this was just anticlimactic.
Yeah. You're like, now I can't loot him, but you're just also like, that was fine. I'm happy with this situation.
I would have reloaded. I always have to loot the boss. I'm
Yeah.
like, no.
It's
you
funny
never know what they'll
because
have.
it's funny because when you load the loading screen at the bottom, it gives you like small tips about the game, and only after that happened to me with Balthasar, I started getting that prompt. You can push people into chasms, but then you can't loot them.
Yeah.
Does the game know what I'm doing?
Yeah. If you play as a warlock, that happens all the time. I did it by accident in
Because
Act
of the Eldritch
1.
Blast,
I
yeah.
ran in, used Eldritch Blast on the matriarch spider. I used Eldritch Blast on that from like a stealth position to try like get an initiative on it. Just pushed it off the fucking cliff and it died. And I was just like, I was still in stealth, so the game just kept going. I was like, did that happen? What?
Apparently, if you jump off that cliff, you actually go into the Underdark.
Yes.
Which
Yeah.
is amazing.
You need to use,
you have to do a
Fleet-
featherfall.
Featherfall,
Yeah,
Featherfall.
and you get a cutscene and everything.
Yeah.
So the game actually expects you to do that.
Because I
cool.
just jumped in and died.
Yeah.
I was just like,
There's a
surely
cutscene
there's
if
a
you
reason.
do jump without featherfall, isn't there? Like you just hit the ground like a ton of bricks. Like I did it with low health, so I just died.
Oh,
Like,
I did it with Lazel, and like I managed to do it at a point. Like it was saying X, like it wouldn't let me do it in a load of areas. But then when I went like beside the wall, it like registered it as a place I could stand. But the second
yeah.
I jumped, she just died instantly.
And that exact area then that leads into the Temple of Selûne where that fucking laser thing is shooting out at, and the Minotaurs are.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly where that is.
Look at
You're
that,
just on the
we've
other
gone
side
full
of it.
circle.
Come full circle.
Okay, we need to talk about the ending then.
Yes,
Okay,
we do
the
have to
ending of
because
Act 2, Ketheric Thorm.
now I'd never fought him, but I convinced him to basically like after like what he did to Isabel and the Night Song and his change. He used to like worship Shar, I think it was, and now he's with the Absolute and he's like a fucking whatever. I just convinced him that what he was doing was terrible and he was a disgrace, and he was just like, okay, I'm going to kill myself. And then he basically just steps backwards and falls into the void.
Wow.
And when he falls into the void, he just rises up again as a like fucking demonic entity.
So you have to fight him
And
anyway.
you have to fight that, and then you kill that, it's like it just goes away. But as soon as that cutscene ends, Ketheric Thorm is just on the ground beside you. It's just like, where the fuck did you come from? You literally just fell
Well, that's
into
handy
a
because
fucking
the game
hole.
didn't want to punish you because of all the good loot he probably had.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it was
yeah.
like, all right,
that,
we'll give it
that
to you.
creature is Ketheric Thorm.
It is, but that
he's
creature
even-
is still there too.
Oh, okay. Well, then never mind.
That's just a glitch there.
But
yeah.
that's something that I think is important for the storyline. You find out what the Absolute is, which
Yeah.
is a mother brain or whatever it
Exactly,
is.
yes.
Sorry, mother brain is
It's,
from a different game.
Yeah, Metroid is I don't know what they call them, the Elder Brain.
Elder brain, yeah.
And they're
So-
controlling it with these tree
and they're
crystals.
controlling it with a tiny tiara. I liked it.
I hate
They
that.
use it with the Triforce, and
And-
there's like one lunatic, one politician, and then you have like the Necromancer, which is Ketheric Thorm.
Which is another connection back to Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, where they fought Baal.
Yeah, Ball Spawn.
Yeah.
Isn't the
So
main character in 1 or 2? Isn't he a ball spawn? And that's the whole
it's been
journey.
literally 30 years, unfortunately, since I've played that game.
Yeah.
Well, 25 since I've played Baldur's
You just
Gate
remember
2.
the names of certain
I
characters.
remember the characters. I vaguely remember the story.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the hamster, which I hope to get to.
Well,
Whoever remembers the hamster, whoever knows what that means,
I've encountered
really
such a
hoping that the hamster makes an appearance. I really liked the hamster.
Wow.
So I'm very, very happy how they've connected it. They really, you can see that there's a lot of love that went into that game.
Yeah.
I think,
so much
honest to
love.
God, though, I do think that anyone who's playing Act 1 and 2 is far more refined and streamlined. I do think that Act 3, we'll obviously talk about it as well, I think Act 3 is a little bit jumbled and like out of place. Like
Act 3 really kind of tries to tie up everything in Act 1 and Act 2 that kept going.
Yeah.
So Act 3 is mostly continuation quests from Act 1 and 2. There's not nearly as many new quests, and there's not like an area, a good guy area, a bad guy area, and then like a bunch of random areas in the middle. It's just the city and underneath the city. And underneath the city pretty much has to represent every single like encounter, and it's just a bit...
well, we'll
strange
talk
in
about
that
that when
regard.
we get
When
to
we
it.
get
but
to Act 3, but there's one more thing that happens in Act 2 that ends Act 2, and that is the fight where you find out who your benefactor is inside the
Yes, the
inside
Astral
the
Prism.
artifact.
Yeah.
The and you find out that it is a mind flayer,
Mhm.
and that he has captured, or Orpheus is captured in that artifact, and Orpheus is the one who is holding you from turning to a mind flayer, which
Pretty cool revelation
was
that was.
really, really cool.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
I
felt
at no
it was
point during
really
my
cool.
first playthrough trusted the person in the Astral Prism. I'm like, I don't know who this is. I didn't think it was going to be a mind flayer, but I was just like, they're just going to be like, use you, and it's going to be that classic, like the main person that like teaches you how to like walk and move in the game. They're going to be the one that betrays you later on. So when I encountered them, John, when you're in the creche with Vlaakith, when I was in the prism, I killed the character, the helper, who turns out to be a mind flayer. I killed them, and then it's just
and
a
you
figment.
turned into mind flayer.
No,
What?
it just changes, and it's just an illusion. And he's just like, "Oh, I didn't think you were going to actually do that." That's all that happens. It's like, oh, okay.
Because in that dialogue, if he asks you, listen, help me fight these Githyanki monks that are just ruining the place.
Oh, that's when you're actually, that's when he's called you in,
Yep.
and there's a battle taking place.
and if you say, no, I will not help you, that's the end. That's game over.
Yeah.
There's credits rolling. You turn into a mind flayer. That's the end of the game.
That's the whole thing with that game. Like, it's got a couple of things where you have to trust him and do certain things. But that's why I was like, I can't trust him the whole way. My main playthrough, I can't talk about the final end.
Don't,
but I
because-
never trusted that person. And when they turned out to be a mind flayer, it's not like, there's still moments where you know they're a mind flayer and you're just like, right, well, they still want to help and they want to do this. But I was just like, no. And like, I very specifically did not want to side with them because I knew they were up to no good.
So my character is like really anti-mind flayers. I had a really big problem when I found out that this is a mind flayer, because again,
Not using
Marcus,
the
when he
illicit
plays
powers.
it, I've used it once, and because you
In
don't have
conversation, was
an option, you
Okay.
have to use it for the first time, I think. And then I've never used it. Marcus keeps telling me, just eat the larvae. It gives you so many bonuses. There's literally no downside to it. I'm like, that's not how roleplay works.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I've never done that. I'm trying to stay away from it, at least in this playthrough. Next playthrough, Dark Urge, I'll just randomly
Be a bit
kill
more
people.
like a Asterion and
Yeah,
just
whatever.
dip in, you know?
I've heard the downside. Apparently, with the Dark Urge, like a lot of people are complaining that like you have to do like saving, or you have to reject your urges or accept your urges. But if you reject them, there's no like roll. You just reject them, so there's no like cost to it. But if you accept them, you basically will just murder people.
Murder
and
random
just-
people. It's
you'll
very
wake
good.
up and they're like in the camp. There'll be a load of bodies or something like that,
I
which
think
is
that's-
cool.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I might try it out. I'm actually playing an evil character, and I didn't play Dark Urge, but I didn't know how it worked. I was like, fuck, I'll just play my way.
Anything else?
I don't know. We got through quite a lot, guys. I mean,
we didn't talk
we
about
skipped
the
over
Underdark. We
millions
didn't
of
get
things.
to-
But
we didn't get to
1 hour
the,
13. If
yeah.
anyone has any final thoughts, otherwise, I think we should probably wrap it up.
I think, and I will keep saying that I find it fascinating how I'm listening to your playthrough, and it sounds so different than what I'm going through in mine.
Well, we've all gone through different ways. Like, we've actually had a couple of like similar kind of ways how we've gotten it. Like the getting into the Shadowfell by using the loot. I only did that my second playthrough. So the first playthrough, I fucking ambushed the Harpers, and that's how I got my lantern. So cool that we've had that, and then even just random kind of things that we've gone through. So Craig, you've like, there's been puzzles that you haven't focused on. There's ones that you solved perfectly, and there's ones that I've just looked up. So like, there's so many different ways you could play it. And then like, you also had Darren, who like basically was playing like without saves coming, by like playing it however it falls. That's how he deals with it. And like, I think if you're not willing to save scum a little bit, or at select moments,
You can't get through the game.
it's just and I think it's fine to look
game
up
will
things
fuck
if
you.
you
very,
have to.
very
Yeah.
difficult. It makes
Yeah.
the game very, very difficult. If you lose Halsin is a very powerful character until you get Jaheira, and then you kind of.
I never once used them, but I had them.
Yeah.
Jaheira is now one of my staples, because it's just so fun to
I'm like,
get back to.
if you
it.
weren't in the main cast at the start, I'm like, I don't have time. There's just too many characters.
There
You know?
are so many characters. It's so fun.
Speaking of one more character, Minthara, I have her on my new playthrough because I raided the Grove.
Awesome.
I know she
She's
exists.
a paladin.
I don't know how to get her yet.
Here's a little thing about her. Okay, so she's not as evil as you think. It's just the mind flare specimen in her brain. When you actually relieve her of that, she's like sworn an oath to the something of spiders. And when you talk to her, if you like just go around killing people, you'll lose attitude with her. Like, she's actually like a good person who follows her oath.
That is
and
surprising.
if you do evil deeds, she's not okay with that, you know? So it's like, oh, this is interesting, you know? Because like, when you get her, the astral prism knocks out the like effect of her mind flare, or of the absolute influence on her. So it's very cool. Now Darren has just come back, which is perfect because I have no way to open the laptop and therefore end the podcast. However, Darren, would you like to tell the people to keep on enjoying the gift that is gaming?
You just said it.
I think you just stole my line. Congratulations.
Yeah, but
Good job.
say it with the little bit of oomph that the people have come to love and
that coffee
Adore.
line
Write us out. Yeah,
about
we're
the
done.
Patreon.
Oh yeah, okay, all right. Well, no problem. If you guys enjoyed the fellas talking and keeping you entertained about Baldur's Gate, which I gave up on, keep on listening to the gift that is gaming. But also check out our Patreon, patreon.com/gift the game for the price of a coffee a month. You can check out loads more content. We got tons of it. It's there everywhere. Daniel, Greg, and Colm, thank you guys for playing Baldur's Gate like I didn't. I appreciate you all so much.
Well, thank you for facilitating this
always.
chat. Yeah.
Thank you for coming in and ending the podcast.
I was sitting in the room. I was like, I think Craig's tried to finish it like twice. I should probably maybe step out there and call it. But yeah, this has been great, guys. To all our listeners, keep enjoying the gift that is gaming. Peace out.
Woo.